Hey everybody, I'm Aaron Bacon. Welcome to Bacon's Bass Place. Make sure to hit that subscribe and the little bell notification button before you get going. And today we're talking about how I met my basses. So this is my little G-turner, my little JT, turn J, JT. No, it's probably not going to be that for very much longer. I enjoy modifying my basses, as you can see. We'll get into that a little bit, but right now it's a J Turner. Now the fun thing about this bass, aside from the playability, because it's a children's bass, it's 3/4 the length of the size, so I really like that. It's kind of like playing guitar but bass. It's like playing guitar with bass size with guitar size frets. Yeah, I really like this bass for that reason, because of the short scale. It's really fun. But anyways, the story of how I actually got this bass, I used to work at a daycare and childcare, and I was working, or I was hanging out with some colleagues of mine, couple of, or at least one of which who happened to be a musician as well. And we were doing just game night. We were playing Dungeons and Dragons and other nerdy great stuff like that, and here in Winnipeg, there is these Facebook marketplace auction music buy and sell trade sites. For the guys of you who are here in Winnipeg, make sure you get on those, and because there's really great deals that come and go, and you have to kind of watch it and be ready to jump on a good deal when you get it. And I'm going to be getting into how a lot of the stuff I did, including this, was that I have actually gotten quite a bit of stuff through those Facebook online buy and sell marketplace group pages. Really useful stuff. So I saw an advertisement for this bass. I've always wanted a red bass, so it caught my attention right away. And it was $50, 50 Canadian dollars. That is just ridiculous. It doesn't matter if it's a 3/4 size bass, It $50. I messaged him right away, and luckily I was the first one to message him, and he says, "I can meet you tonight." This was at work when I was at lunchtime or something in the afternoon when I was at work that I saw this, and I told him I was going to be in the same area, and he was mobile, so he came to me actually while I was at game night with my friends. So that was really nice and convenient. Another good thing is, people are good people for the most part, and they like to help each other out, so I always enjoy that. That's another great thing about those buy and sell marketplaces, is they really allow musicians to interact with each other and meet new musicians and kind of get cool deals like that really help. It's really awesome in a musician's career when you can save a little money. Am I right? Yeah. So anyways, now we're at my friend's place. We're playing some games, having a couple drinks, and I had another thing, kind of like a drink, that I had to go outside and partake. And just so happens that I was going to do that when the dude who had the bass came to meet me. And so I go over there. He was across the street at a gas station. I ran over there to meet him. And yeah, so then we got in a car and we drove back across the street to the apartment where we were at so we could talk a little bit and, partake. And yeah, it was good. And it just came like this, no case. It still has the price tag on it. And he still sold it to me for $50. But, I guess that's kind of what I get coming up here, because I kind of feel like I almost robbed the dude paying that price, But, again, can't pass up a deal like that. So what had happened was we were in the parking lot, and it was nighttime, and we were in the car talking for a couple minutes, and it was okay, great. I gave him the money, he gave me the bass, all great now. And I get up, and I get out of the vehicle, and I'm walking along, and after about, on my second step out of the vehicle, I tripped in the parking lot on those cement things that your tires hit, like a tire stop, so you don't park too far and crash into people in parking lots. I didn't see it in the dark, and I tripped over it while the bass was in my hand like this, and I fell, and I just fell flat on my face like a dummy, and I smacked the bass like right here on the bottom, and I felt my soul crack with it, I heard it, I felt it come through my arm. This felt like lightning if it were made out of wood breaking, Wasn't a fun sound, and I got some damage on here now. That's pretty significant paint damage. Luckily, it didn't do any more serious body damage than that. Hopefully, you guys can see that. So I was quite ashamed and embarrassed, to say the least. But I feel it's kind of equitous because, you know, now it's worth $50 at best. For real, though. But it works good, and I totally enjoy this bass, and I haven't had a problem. It was a little bit, it took a little bit of maintenance. It was a little behind on the maintenance, so, you know, I switched up the strings, I gave it a nice cleaning, I switched out the bridge here, and I gave it this nice pickup slash pickguard cover slash finger ramp, that I made myself. If you haven't seen my video on me customizing my little JT, go over and check that out. You can see all about the mods I did to this bass in a quick little montage video I put together of that whole experience and a quick demo of it. So yeah, if you want to see how I went about my mods here and a little bit more explanation about that, go check out that video. Original price on the price tag, J Turner mini bass red, retail $255, our price $159. So these kind local retailers at Marshall's, I believe, had have quite a nice deal on their things, but not quite as nice as the deals I got on the marketplace online. So check out those marketplaces, guys, because that's really where the deals are at. Yeah, I like to keep my little elastic here just for some stuff. You can get more professional ones other than that, but that's kind of a whole topic for a different video now. So yeah, that's basically the story of how I met this guy, and he really, like, I kind of think of it as like a James Jamerson bass a little bit. Anytime I need like a precision bass, like my band does a Soundgarden cover or two amongst our originals, so sometimes I like to play this bass just because the pickups, it has the split P-bass pickups right here, so they it sounds a little bit just like a pickup just from the shape and the placement of the wood and the tone configuration and everything. Yeah, no, I really quite enjoy it, and this is a bass that I really like to play, as I said. It's kind of the one that, like, when I'm just noodling around at home, or if I have some exercises to do, or if I'm studying a new technique or a new song, or if I'm writing something, I kind of like to do it on this one. Just, this is sort of my, I like it because of my affinity for ergonomics when it comes to bass playing, I think. That's also why I like double thump, because it's very, very ergonomic. And having just to spend less energy when you're playing, to cover less distance when you're playing, because it's smaller, physically you have to cover less distance, you don't have to stretch your hand as much. I really like that. It's really good for warming up for me. I enjoy to just grab it, and just when sometimes if I'm watching a movie, or kind of like how I'm doing now, just sort of stuff that's a little bit casual, you know? I eventually want to maybe paint the headstock red, and the back of this has sort of like a semi-gloss, like a satin finish. Not quite matte, but not quite high gloss. It's like a satin finish, which I don't mind, but I find the glossier it is, the grippier it is, so I really like to get like a nice like 2000 grit sandpaper sometimes, and just get a real raw finish on the neck, because I really like that raw finish. The Badass 2 bridge really complements the nice tone and sustain. Yeah, and the short scale, like when I'm teaching, sometimes if I ever have a kid that wants to try the bass, or has a hard time with the fingering because of the neck, you know, this is all here you go, play this one, young Padawan, because it might be a little easier on their hands, and, you know, if we can make that initial growth period a little less discouraging, I think, then a lot more people would make it through it, because there's quite a lot of musicians who kind of stop short of actually becoming a musician, because that first year or two is really kind of discouraging and frustrating, you know, but it's okay. I think this bass is really useful for people in that situation, because it might just make one of those frustrating situations just a little bit less frustrating for you. So let me know in the comments section if you've had experiences with J Turners. If you like it, let me know in the comments if you have ever how you've damaged your basses. I'm sure somebody out there has to have beaten my dummy fall there. So share with me some of your worst ding stories, because this is definitely the worst ding story I have. And as I go through this how I met my basses series, you'll hear the rest of the ding stories. But right now, thankfully, this bad boy only has one ding on it, and I got this bacon strap on it. You know, the red kind of matches, and you know, bacon. It's really short. I like the strap. You don't want to. I always like to have my sitting strap height at the same height as my standing strap height, so that it doesn't adjust in my technique when I'm going back and forth between standing and sitting. It's still the same either way. Yeah, I mean, do you guys like this bass? I want to know what you guys think about all this stuff, hey? Let me know. How do you feel about short scale basses? Did you play one of these when you were a kid? Have you ever found it frustrating in that, well, I mean, have you ever? I'm sure you have, but let me know which was the frustrating part for you in your first couple years playing, in your learning curve when you were a beginner, and if something like this would have helped you, if having a short scale bass that would have been a little bit easier on your hands, and made the conditioning arc a little bit smoother and less steep, let's say. Yeah, cool. Well, this is my my JT, soon to be a custom bacon bass, I suppose. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Aaron Bacon. See you next time.